Hey guys, Cool Bono back. I'm Rick.
I'm Maggie.
And we are here with Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex.
You want to try that again?
No, I'm trying to remember. It's season 2, but I don't think it's called season 2. But I don't know what it's called. So we're going to go with season 2.
Memory 2 or something?
I don't know. Something like that. Last time on, Reform Section 9. Complete with all the old members. All the old members. Tachikoma's included.
High point.
Indeed. There's a new Prime Minister, who I described as a female Edgeworth, at least in dress.
She just had the fluffy collar thing, right?
In red. She was on a red suit.
Oh, okay. It's hard to be Edgeworth, though.
It is. He is amazing. Hopefully she is half as amazing.
It's not really red, though. It's burgundy, isn't it?
I mean, it's all red. If you go back far enough.
Not all reds are equal.
All right, let's get into season 2, see what it has in store for us. I can't wait. Whew, that seemed to go by very quickly.
Yeah. Investigating crimes that haven't happened, but have happened in a single guy's apparently biological brain? Or no, it's semi-cyber brain, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like the terrorist attacks were happening and they had infiltrated in to see if... Because, like, Yoichi, he wasn't... Like, that happened, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So they were just investigating this guy to see if he was part of it, but apparently not. He was just surrounded by it, fantasizing by it. It reminds me of a few different things, but have you seen The Boys?
Yes, I think the first season.
Okay. I can't remember what season it is, but there's an opening thing.
Are you allowed to possibly spoil?
It's not going to spoil anything. But there's an opening thing with like a man who's, because of like the media, is disillusioned with reality and like wants to do something about it. Kind of reminded me of that. Yeah, the guy he got like a job in body parts, but I think he needs a therapist. I wonder what cyber therapists are like. Like, can you just make changes to the body, the brain surgically?
Well, from what he was talking, like the way he was talking about the other like veterans, where their brains, they're just happy because they basically had a happy chip telling them to be happy. It's like, did he just miss that day or something? Like,
I don't know. Like, I wonder how much of it was real, because his friend, his like manager, said that you were a hero in the war, but he lost his legs due to like an STD. But
that was probably one of those fantasy sections, wasn't it? If it ended in some sort of violence or yelling at the system.
I suppose so, yeah. Yeah, everything until he was just like, sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all fantasy. Him, speaking his mind and such.
Yeah, it's interesting because he's fantasizing like I feel like we could fantasize. But I imagine in this future, there's probably like virtual reality wells you can go into to like really live those.
What I wonder is how a cyber brain differentiates between fantasizing and instructions. Like how does it create those like false memories or fake processes and tell like all the difference?
I don't know. I mean, brains can have problems too.
Yeah, and like given a person or someone saying that this person's very, very ill, it's like that can be what they may do afterwards can be less held against them based on how they are mentally. So if your cyber brain was like you quit getting updates or something, or you something corrupted or something, like how do they just like go through and check that and be like, oh, like this was corrupted. You murdered that hooker for no reason or something. Like, you can't be held accountable for that.
Well, yeah, it's
like what?
Like if your self-driving car has an accident, right?
But like, you're still responsible for that car. That's why you're not allowed to like just fall asleep in the car. So, yeah, how do you fall asleep driving a cyber body, basically? Equally dangerous object? Especially in the wrong hands.
Maybe. But less so if everyone has one. Like, if I have a cyber body, then I'm stronger and more durable than everyone else. But if everyone has one, then it's just like a normal body, right?
Yeah. And he seemed to think of the cyber body as being a huge negative in his life. A huge one. And like from what his like fantasy boss was saying, it's like, oh, you can't get like jobs being a wounded cyber soldier, basically. And my first question is like, what can't be fixed? Like, does he have some sort of a cyber brain damage that can't really be fixed?
I think he's just
like that's how he views himself.
He's just disillusioned, I guess. And it's just like he's disillusioned. Is
it just because he like lost his dick?
Well, I think it's probably more than that. It's like he lost.
Because that doesn't seem... Yeah.
Like he never felt like he had control over his life. Like he felt like he was just following orders in the war for a war he didn't agree with. And like now he's not really making major decisions in his life. He has no influence over others, really. And
well, yeah, he's drawn away from any possible like connection he could have to others. That's why he has no influence over them. Like so a lot of this hole he dug with his own shovel.
Sure. Yeah, it seems like he lost part of his humanity as well as his manhood.
Yeah, like I don't think like losing his manhood's accurate at all, like why he's doing all that sort of stuff.
But it could be like a physical reminder of what he feels about his life.
Yeah. Impotent.
Mm-hmm. It seems like this is the second episode in a row they're talking about refugees and such.
Yeah.
I wonder how all that's going to play in. Well,
I hesitate to like track too much of what was happening in this episode because I'm not sure how much of it was him like kind of scrolling up the world to make his actions happen at the right moment, you know?
Sure. Individual 11, that's what they were called, the terrorist organization. So I imagine that's what Major's looking into in this case, and was wondering if he had any connection, but just a waste of time. They had to rent out that building, rent that limo.
If that guy did try to join, like, he'd probably be turned away.
Probably so. It's a phenomenon, I think, called, like, Call to the Void. Have you seen Annie Hall?
No.
In that the brother, while driving...
Is it the urge to, like, drive off the road or jump?
Yeah, like drive into traffic.
Yeah, I know that.
Like, just that weird moment in your brain where it's like, you should be thinking about this.
Yeah, it's like I don't know about you, but like I go through many iterations of lots of situations that will never ever happen. But I feel like if I go through these like fantasy situations in my head, in the moment, I'll be able to react better and more precisely, and I'll never be just like the frozen chicken sort of thing. But when you're doing that sort of stuff, or when you're considering like what happens if a car suddenly pulls into my lane, what do I do? It's like you can like all of a sudden kind of be like half surprised at the back end of your mind where it's like, what? Wait, I don't have to do that right now.
Yeah.
You can almost trick yourself. But it's not really like an urge, I feel. At least if I've experienced something similar.
No, it's more like, I mean, the brain just fires off random thoughts all the time.
Yeah, true.
It's just one of those, and it seems to have a special meaning because it goes against what your brain is normally telling you to, like, protect yourself at all costs, you know? Mm-hmm. It just stands out in a way.
Oh, absolutely. And, like, I've experienced vivid dreaming quite often, and when you have that sort of, like, perfect input memory that just doesn't freaking match the world, but your brain has accepted it and is making decisions based off of it, when you finally realize, like, oh wait, that memory didn't exist, it's creepy, it's weird, it has that same sort of like, oh, stop.
And that's what this guy's talking about with truths, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have that sort of thing, but you also just have your worldview was wrong.
Yeah.
And so, like, all of those actions that you did under that worldview now no longer make any sense. Now that you have a different perspective. Mm-hmm. Now that your truth has changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy was definitely Neil Breenish. And I loved it.
No! Gosh. You realize, as much as you love, like, those movies that are so incredibly earnest and such, you yourself will never ever be able to make one.
It's a fate I have accepted. But, I mean, maybe. I don't know. That's the thing. You've just got to, whatever you try to do in life, you have to go at it 100%, regardless of whether you're actually capable of it or not. If you made
some sort of a board game movie, like 100%.
Yeah.
You think it'd be on Neil Breen levels.
I mean, that's the thing. That's why you got to go at it at 100%. Because then even if you fail, it will be spectacular.
Yeah. That means that follows like a line of thinking that I've often held, where it's like everybody's got like one good story in them. Everybody's got like that one perfect, just only they can tell. It's like, that means everybody's got one perfect bad movie in them.
Only that were true. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens next time. Mm-hmm. Thanks, guys, for joining us for this episode of Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. If you want to see more reactions, you can right now over at patreon.com/blindwave. You can also watch along with us full length, syncing up your own footage. And be sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 1 million subscribers this year. It's like the future. But now, you can make it happen.